Good morning guys, and welcome to this edition of Hikelopedia. Today I am in Hsinchu County, not far from home, and I'm in the somewhat backwaterish town of Zhudong. Now we'll get to the real reason for why I came here a bit later, but first it's about 9:30 and I haven't really had any breakfast this morning, so let's go find some food. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to a traditional market, because where I live in Hsinchu there's not any really good traditional markets. Sorry Hsinchu people. So I've come to Zhudong because I really like their market. The reason why I like it, I'll show you in a minute when we get there. Oh my god, it's so hot today. It's only 9:30 and I'm sweating already. See, the thing I like about Zhudong Market is that it's got a pedestrianised area where no scooters are allowed. There we go. Off the road, into the market. No scooters. The other thing that's really cool about it is they have absolutely everything. They've got clothes, glasses, vegetables, traditional cold remedies, traditional snacks, which I love, strawberries, dried fish, water bottles and flasks, irons, everything. We've got handkerchiefs there. I don't think those things existed anymore. Those things are ready-made soup in a bag, just add hot water. And you always get somebody with a gravelly voice at a Taiwanese market. I used to love going to the traditional market in my old place in Xindian because I knew all the vendors over the years, but where we live now there's not really a market close by, so don't get the same experience. Spring has sprung, so the big bamboo is back. Now this is why I came here, get some Hakka noodles. Wow, how done. I did not expect it to be this big. Check it out. I'm not sure I managed to finish all that, but one thing's for sure, I don't think I need anything else to eat. So I'm just going to grab a few things to take home and eat later. 那个里面是
没有包的，这个是包干的菜包丝，干的萝卜丝。
怎么卖
？35，要几个？
给我3个。3个，谢谢。
还要其他的吗？先不要，拿100块就好了哈，100的。
Okay, so this is one of my favorite things in Taiwan to eat for breakfast. It's called an Eatery, I think. I don't know what they're called, but I like to eat them. They're like a glutinous rice bun. Inside is kind of like a pickled daikon or lobo. one of my favorites. 300-400, and you can freeze these, so I'm going to take them home and put them in the freezer and have them another day. 还会要那个综合的豆干。These are really traditional Taiwanese. 谢谢。We've got chicken's feet and tofu and all kinds of different things. But my family, especially my son, we like a bit of dougan, which is like dried tofu with usually with a soy-based sauce, sometimes spicy. But I bought from there before. It's really nice. So that's it. No more shopping. Now let's get down to why we really came to Zhudong. This place is the Zhudong Forestry Industry Museum. It's got quite a bit of interesting stuff. It's pretty small, but it's still pretty interesting. And actually the English signage inside is pretty good, which is a rarity in Taiwan. Although it's not so rare these days. Although nowadays it plays second and maybe even third fiddle to the twin industrial and tech powerhouses of Hsinchu and Zhubei just down the Touqian River from here, Zhudong was not so long ago an industrial powerhouse of its own. The thing that made this now sleepy commuter town a mighty money-making hub back then was, however, a natural resource: timber. With abundant water and lots of flat land, Zhudong was the ideal spot to set up timber processing operations for the masses of giant trees that were felled way up in the mountains of present-day Jianshi and Wufeng townships during the late Japanese era. One such company was the Uematsu Lumber Co. and its boss Hirado Yoshizo. Born in Japan, he came to Taiwan as a young man in 1906 to work for his uncle's lumber company, taking over the firm following his uncle's death. Over the years, the firm expanded, establishing several branches in places around Taiwan, including Jiayi, Luodong and Fengyuan, as well as here in Zhudong. The structure behind me, which is now the Zhudong Forestry Industry Museum, once served as one of the company's office buildings. Uematsu Lumber enjoyed its heyday during World War II, as with sea lanes to and from Taiwan blocked, it became a military contractor, sending its lumber down to Zuoying in Kaohsiung for use in naval shipbuilding operations. Following the Japanese surrender and the end of the Second World War, Yoshizo, who had been hiding out from Allied air raids in the mountains of Hsinchu, decided to stay in Taiwan and continue with his timber operations. However, he was later arrested by the nationalist police and forced to pay a ransom in order to be released. With his employees leaving Taiwan one by one to return to Japan, he was ultimately forced to relinquish control of his timber business. Zhudong's forestry operations were taken over by the new government and continued to prosper, shipping large amounts of Taiwan cypress to Japan over the next few decades, up until a halt was called on logging operations in this area of Taiwan in 1985. Another cool thing about Zhudong is just over the road from the museum is a bunch of old Japanese era buildings that were dormitories for forestry industry workers. And unlike many of the other places in Taiwan, these ones haven't been renovated yet, because it's quite fashionable in Taiwan to renovate the old Japanese buildings nowadays. But as you can see, these ones are largely still in their original state. Cue the barking dogs. They were barking at me a lot earlier. Anyway, the reason why these ones haven't been renovated is, I was just talking to the guy in the museum, the spouses of quite a few of the forestry workers actually still live in these houses. The only one that's been done up is that one there. The rest are in quite a state of disrepair. It's quite hard to believe that people still live in some of them, but one or two of them you can actually go and have a quick gander inside. You can't get inside, but you can see through the windows. And check out this. It's an old kitchen. The old stove, so cool. It's brick and it's got holes for to build the fire inside, and a place to put the pans on top. And then these cool clay or ceramic exhaust pipes that go up through the roof. I love exploring places like this. You can't get into any of the places, but you can just get a feel of what it was like just by looking around the outside. The guy in the museum was telling me that the spouses of the former forestry industry workers, they cannot pass the houses on to their kids. So when the houses eventually become empty, they will be able to get control of them and maybe renovate them. But who knows when that will be. I never realized before visiting that museum that before pretty much the whole of Zhudong was just a logging industry town, and that's how it developed. Pretty interesting, the things you can find out in just a really small and obscure museum. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's it for now. Gonna come back a bit later and take you to another cool place in Zhudong. Alright guys, it's a bit later in the day and we're just about to head to another Zhudong institution for dinner. Let's go. Sandro's Pizza is located in a quiet lane opposite Datong Elementary School. It is one of a growing number of pizza joints in Taiwan run by a bona fide Italian, so you know that the pizza is going to be authentic. The thing I like is that they have such a huge selection of pizzas. 36 varieties, which includes dessert pizzas for those of you with a sweet tooth. My son, who didn't want to be filmed, plumped for the chorizo pizza. While being an anchovy lover, I went for the Napolitana. Having eaten here before, I knew the pizza would be good, and once again, Sandro did not disappoint, delivering 2 piping hot pizzas packed with top quality ingredients and one of the best bases you can sink your teeth into. At $300 to $400 for each pizza, some would consider it a bit pricey, but I believe it's worth paying a bit more for pizza equal to that you would get in Italy, even though you usually have to wait quite a while to get it. Ooh, that was some good pizza. And quite a coincidence that right opposite the pizza shop are some renovated old Japanese dorms. I think it's closed now. It's some kind of like art park or something. But anyway, the pizza was superb. It's really good pizza. So if you're ever in Zhudong and you fancy a pizza, then get yourself to Sandro's. And that's the conclusion of my little Zhudong day out. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, then thanks down below. Buy me a coffee or consider becoming a channel member. And that's it. Short trip home now for a change. So take it easy and I'll see you next time. Over and out. If your sister was you don't want these, right? You decide what you want.
That, this, what do you think I should get?
chorizo.
Chorizo is good.